Reese Dixon-Waters with San Diego State. I know heading into last year, there was a lot of high-up expectations. You're going to be one of the key players. Didn't end up working out. There were some injuries. Just what's that like where preseason you kind of have that taken away from you? How do you bounce back mentally and be ready for this season just as much as you were ready for last season?
I just had to stay consistent with my treatment, talk with my family, be open with them, communicate with them my feelings. Also it helped a lot being able to pour into other people, throughout the season, like talking to my teammates and helping them out, helping them get through their frustration. And I do think that me being out, it helped a lot of guys in areas because they had to play more, they had to get more experience and take up a bigger role than they were going to have if I had played. So I think it definitely helped a lot. And I don't look at any situation and look at the negatives. I did at first, but now looking back on it, obviously I think it helped everybody out.
I know you mentioned players that helped out. Seems Miles Byrd, maybe one of the biggest, where maybe he wasn't going to step into that big role, stepped into it, and he played incredibly well. Now you get to play next to him. So I just feel like that makes you just as much of a better team this year than maybe you could have been last year. Now that Miles has more experience than maybe you would have.
Yeah, definitely. Not only did Miles get a lot of experience as well, I think a lot of dudes like BJ, Taj, I think it helped them a lot too because they got to experience big minutes, especially with Taj coming in as a freshman. Playing as much as he did, he got to experience a lot of different situations that now he knows how to handle, especially now, like seeing him in practice every day in the exhibition we played, seeing his growth was great. Being able to play with Miles is it's a lot of fun. When we play in practice, it's a lot of fun, and I'm excited for the season.
What have you seen from the growth of this team? Because last year, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, redshirt freshmen, still did incredibly well. Just like you feel like this team is going to be even more amazing now that you went through some of those, or young players went through some of those experiences, had a few hard knocks, but it seems like this team is all the better for it now with more experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's always growing pains, with every team, especially now in college basketball. People are always on a different team, different coaches or whatever. With us, we try to keep the culture the same, so I think that's why a lot of the players came back because of the culture, because of Coach Dutch, the rest of it, or along with the other coaches. So I definitely think that helps. And along with the growing pains, we're going we get frustrated. We're a family. We have times where we fight, get into it, but it's all good because at the end of the day, I think it helps us build character. It builds, togetherness within the team, so it definitely helps.
What's the biggest improvement you've seen this team make from last year to this year?
I would just say maturity, within the game and outside of the game. And I think as men, playing in college basketball, one of the main things you want to do is grow as a man and not only a basketball player. And I think a lot of players have done that.
So San Diego State, not just finished first, unanimous, which I think hasn't happened in a few years. I mean, you've been at San Diego State, you know that this is a program that has a target on its back, but just feel like that adds to it a little bit where it's like, hey, you're getting every team's best shot, maybe even more so than usual.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm a competitor, so whether we're ranked first or last, I'm always going to play like the next team is looked at as better than us, so in terms of what it looks like, it looks great, that everybody picked us to win, but we got to actually prove that.
Yeah. So I know after a year off, what is the thing you want to remind people most about you, about what you were about to bring last year and what you're going to bring this year?
Well, I got all the confidence in myself because I believe that, every time I step on the floor, I'm the best player, regardless of who's on the floor. And I'm just, it's not really to remind other people because for me, their opinion to me doesn't really matter. It's more about me proving it to, God and myself, that I'm the one that put in the work, and was thankful for all the situations that I've been through and the challenges that I've been through. So it's more about me proving it to me. I don't have anything that I want to prove to anybody else.
So you guys got to step on the court against UCLA. Got to host them in Viejas. Obviously, that result didn't go maybe the way you're hoping, but sometimes these preseason failures can be pretty good teachers. What do you feel like you guys learned most from that game? Yeah,
we learned, I think, we knew we played together and we were never going to quit. But going down 17-0 in the first 8 minutes, it showed me that, we got a lot to work on in terms of our turnovers. We turn the ball over a lot and our transition defense. But ever since that game, we've been, watching film and we've gotten a lot better at that. And I think, that game helped us a lot and just in terms of our growth as a team and individually.
All right, Reese Dixon-Waters. Reese Dixon-Waters. I'm being terrible with names today.
That's all good.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'll be back, and we'll have Miles Byrd on as well.
Appreciate it.
We're here with Miles Davis, though, San Diego State. And I guess there was a lot of maybe anxious San Diego State fans. I don't know if they were too anxious because like they're partly excited because you were testing the NBA waters, and everyone's always excited to see their guys go to the NBA, but maybe selflessly hoping you come back, help them to another great season. You end up coming back to San Diego State. Just what was it that I guess we'll start with what did you learn in that NBA process where you're going through all those pre-draft processes, trying to learn from NBA scouts? What was the things you learned from that?
I think just the habits of living like a pro. For 2 to 2.5 months, I was living by myself in LA, working out with my agency, treating myself like I am a pro. So, I think that helps build habits on and off the court for me. It takes a step up in maturity as well, going through a process like that. But yeah, a lot of the feedback was just like I need to be more consistent offensively. They see my defensive impact in the game, and obviously living in the weight room, continue to put on weight, which I feel like I've done a good job of this summer, and just trying to get stronger and be able to take contact a lot better.
So what are those things you try to work on most offensively? Because I think statistically and I think on film it shows that like you can be a guy who can put the ball in the bucket. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. How do you try and establish that consistency, or in the off season, or is that something you're going to have to just put together in a game?
I think it's shot selection. I think a lot of shots I took last year were tough, especially once we got in the conference and the team started understanding what I like to get to and stuff. Instead of getting to a better shot or getting to the hoop to start the game and get to the free throw line and build momentum that way, I would try to just take deeper threes, stepping off behind the line instead of stepping up, shot faking and going to get a good look and build my momentum up. So I think shot selection, and that comes with me just last year was my first year really playing big minutes. I think I played 12, 13 minutes a game the year before that into playing 30 minutes a game. So it's a huge adjustment. Go from being like the 8th man on the scouting report to probably the top 2 guy on the scouting report last year. So I think this summer I watched a lot of film, and I'm still trying to just understand the landscape of college basketball, understand where I can get my points easier and how to take some stress off myself.
So I know preseason player of the year, you get that nod. It was either you or Mason Falslev. Mm-hmm. It seems you guys are the top 2 teams in the conference. You played against Mason twice. Like, is there a rivalry brewing as far as players, or is it just kind of another matchup for you guys?
I got a ton of respect for Mason. I think he's a great player. I think his first year playing was probably my first year playing as well. I'm a lot of respect for Utah State in general. It kind of reminds me of just like the Jaden Ledee, Gray Osselboard, Darius Brown type of thing, where they normally give the nod to the team that wins conference. I think it'll be a great 2 times playing them, hopefully 3 times in the conference tournament or something like that. So I'm excited for that.
That seems to be the trend. Utah State and San Diego State, whenever they make it to the title game, feels like they're playing each other. It happened like 3 or 4 times.
100%.
Were you part of any of those previous matchups? I can't remember if it's been a couple years.
My freshman year, I think we beat you guys in the conference championship.
Yeah.
And then my sophomore year, we had played in like the semis or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But San Diego State's had the better for the last 2 or 3 matches.
I wasn't here, but I definitely remember a lot of talk about the who hit that one shot. The Sam Merrill shot. I watched Sam Merrill play for the Cavs last night. So, a lot of good lineage in between Utah State and San Diego State.
Yeah. So, you guys last year, you were one of those young players maybe weren't expecting to take as big a role, but you took a big role. A lot of freshmen, Magoon, Farrow, and Taj, bunch of guys. Mm-hmm. Now you're all sophomores. Of course, you're going to your junior year. A lot of guys, you're older and wiser too. Just what are the things you guys have learned the most after a year where you were pretty good, but you also had some ups and downs a little bit as younger players?
I think just taking care of the little things. I think, it goes unnoticed when you let little things slide and start building maybe not the best habits off the court and on during practice and stuff like that. I think, it comes back to bite you in the butt later in the year. Yeah. Most teams I've been on under Brian Dutcher is like we just keep getting better and better and better throughout the year. And obviously losing Goon later in the year, that hurt us. I felt like there was like kind of a straight line type of development from the team last year. And I think that all goes into the little things that we were doing and not building the correct habits on and off the court. And, I think we all kind of understand that. We don't want to live this year and regret knowing how good of a team we can be. So, just trying to take care of those little things.
And I'll kind of go back to you. You come back to San Diego State. A lot of star players, in the Mountain West have chosen to leave. They get a bigger paycheck. Mm-hmm. You guys had several players, Magoon, yourself, could have left, but you didn't. You're sticking with San Diego State. Just what was that have you guys with this program? I know it's an elite program, but sometimes bigger paychecks are bigger paychecks. But what keeps you with San Diego State?
I'm just confident in myself as a player and as a person. It's always been something I could have left to go to a prep school in high school, and I decided to stay at the local public school and graduate with my friends and stuff like that. So I kind of seen it like that. I mean, it's a loyalty thing for me. Coaches, I wasn't the highest recruited player in the country. The coaches, they took their time with me recruiting me, and they put their trust into me, and I put my trust into them. So it's just a bond I didn't want to leave. And then, for instance, for Goon, me and Goon had multiple conversations when he was in the portal and, when I was going through the NBA process thing. And, I mean, the biggest thing for the money part of it was, if you're confident in yourself as a player and you think you're going to be an NBA player, the money will come. So, you could take a smaller check now and for the bigger check later in the day when you reap the benefits of staying down where you started at.
Yeah. Is there an NBA player you've tried to model your game after? Or I know you're kind of a neat player.
I would think I watch a good amount of people. I definitely defensive-minded first.
Yeah. You go back to Kawhi Leonard? That's
Kawhi Leonard a little bit. I feel like he's more of an on-the-point guarder and like a one-on-one guard. He takes pride in his matchup. I see myself as like a Dyson Daniels type of dude where,
there you go.
Just flying around, getting deflections. A guy that I've actually grown to really appreciate his game is Derek White of the Celtics. I think he's kind of I can model myself after that because I'm not the best scorer in the world. I'm not the best ball handler in the world. But I think I do everything at a pretty good level, and I think would be a great role player in the NBA.
I know. So you get the preseason Player of the Year, but I know you're one of the top defenders. I know Magoon got that honor last year. You guys going to battle among each other for Defensive Player of the Year?
I'm definitely going to go out Goon for that Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean,
you got to get some blocks because they really love shot blockers.
They love shot blocking. I think from the guard position, I think I block a good amount of shots. But I'm just glad somebody won it from San Diego State. I mean, I could care less who wins any of the awards, honestly, as long as we do what we need to do as a team. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad Goon won it.
All righty. Thank you so much, Miles Byrd, for joining me here on Cash for the Daily. We'll be back after this.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.